In 1982, we had a 10-year-old and I had a 5-month-old, and I found out I was pregnant. So I told him, and we decided to go to the doctors, and the doctor diagnosed me with he said it's ectopic, which meant that I had to have what they call a clinical abortion. Just about the same time after that, he had lost his job as a maintenance man. But so we were in this quandary. We had 2 boys we had to raise. He had no job. I needed surgery. So I went to my bishop, who was Mitt Romney at the time, and I told him that I had to have what they call a clinical abortion. They have to actually remove the embryo from your tube because it's stuck there and it will burst and you can die. And the first words out of his mouth were, "Well, what can I do to help you and your family?" Mitt was just wonderful. I went to the hospital, I had the surgery, and after that surgery, all of a sudden, Mitt comes walking in the hospital room. I just burst out crying, and I was like, I'm just not, I just can't get over this. I really thought that, you know, I was going to have this baby. They gave me the due date and everything, and I just think it's my fault. I don't know, maybe I did something wrong. He said, "It's not your fault." And he just kept counseling me. He could see my anguish, and I looked up at one point and I saw he had tears in his eyes. He left after a while, but he made sure that all my needs were met, that I was okay before we left the hospital. He would have stayed there 10 hours if he needed to. After that, he would call me. He came over the house after the surgery to make sure I was okay, make sure that Ronnie's needs were taken care of, that my children's needs were taken care of. The next Sunday, when I went back to church, he said to me, "Hey, I've been thinking about you all weekend." And I said, "Why? What did I do?" He said, "I think I know how to help you. I think I know how to help Ron."
What happened was I lost my job, like Sandy mentioned, and I was looking for a few jobs here and there, and I guess Sandy must have said something to Mitt. And I was doing photography at the time, and so I got a phone call saying that, do you want to photograph the missionaries? And it was a pretty big job to photograph all the missionaries that were leaving in the New England area. But I didn't realize till later that Mitt Romney's the one that introduced and said, you know, call up, this photography's great. And then he asked me, "Can you do a little maintenance around the chapel?" And I said, "Oh yeah, sure I can. I can do that." And instead of like giving us money, saying, "Here, this will solve the problem," he let me work for my money so I could feel like I was the father and like I was taking care of my wife and my family. I mean, here's a guy that I didn't realize that Mitt Romney was that successful in life.
We didn't even know they were wealthy.
We didn't know. We just thought he was just like me, you know.
People divide themselves into classes, but Mitt Romney doesn't care where you come from, where you've been, what your financial situation is. He just wants to help. We're blue collar all the way. We're independents. We're voting for the best man who can do the best thing for this country. He's not only got the heart, he's got the savvy, he's got the business sense, he's got the sense of service. And I really believe that like he came to my rescue that day in the hospital, he's going to come to the rescue of every person in America who's hurting like we are. And I believe that with all my heart. I know that. I'm counting on it.